I thought I knew it until I saw her dancing with someone else. And in that moment, nothing would ever be the same.
I never imagined I'd find myself standing in the middle of a crowded dance floor, heart pounding, palms sweating, and watching the person I trusted most sway in someone else's arms. It started innocently enough. My wife had always loved dancing. I knew this, yet somehow, over the years, I had stopped joining her. Life, work, exhaustion, it had all piled up, and the dance floor became hers alone. But tonight was different. We were at a friend's wedding, a night meant for joy, laughter, and celebration. She was dressed in a shimmering red gown, her hair catching the soft glow of the chandelier, and as soon as the music began, she floated toward the center of the room, her eyes lighting up with excitement. I should have felt happy for her, proud even. Instead, a knot formed in my stomach when I saw him. He was tall, confident, and charming, moving with a grace that made it seem effortless. I didn't recognize him immediately. He wasn't someone from her past she had ever mentioned. But there was an ease between them, a familiarity that made my chest tighten. When she smiled at him, my heart sank. I tried to tell myself it was nothing, that dancing with strangers at weddings was harmless. But every instinct in my body screamed otherwise. Just enjoy the night, I muttered to myself, sitting at the edge of the floor, trying to appear calm while my mind spun. But then, as the music swelled, he reached for her hand. And she didn't pull away. I stood up before I even realized it, walking toward them, my voice low but shaking with emotion. "If you step out there and dance with him again," I said, my words cutting through the music, "then we'll be having a very different conversation later." Her eyes widened in shock, the laughter in her expression vanishing instantly. For a moment, the world seemed to freeze. Everyone around us sensed the tension, the sudden shift from celebration to confrontation. Her face flushed, not from embarrassment, but something else I couldn't place. She tried to respond, but words failed her. Instead, she took a small step back from him, looking at me with a mixture of guilt, fear, and defiance. I'm just dancing," she said softly, her voice trembling. "It's nothing, I promise." But I knew better. Something about the way she looked at him, the subtle touch of her hand on his shoulder, betrayed a closeness that shouldn't exist. My mind raced with questions I didn't want to ask but couldn't ignore. "I trusted you," I said, my voice rising despite my attempt to stay calm. "I thought we had a marriage built on honesty, and now I'm supposed to believe this is just a dance." She looked away, biting her lip, the telltale sign of someone hiding something. The man, sensing the storm he had walked into, awkwardly smiled and stepped back, leaving the space between us charged with unspoken truths. I wanted to confront him, to demand answers, but my eyes were fixed on her. The person I loved was no longer the woman I thought I knew, or maybe she had never been. The rest of the night passed in a blur. I watched her from across the room, noticing the way she laughed, the way she leaned toward him in fleeting moments, all while pretending everything was normal. Each glance was a knife twisting deeper into my chest. I realized then that marriage wasn't just about love. It was about trust, about the quiet moments when you choose each other over every temptation. And right now, I felt that trust cracking. The drive home was silent. I couldn't bring myself to speak, and she didn't try to. The weight of what had happened at the wedding settled over us like a storm cloud. When we finally reached our home, I made my decision. I couldn't ignore it, couldn't pretend that what I had seen was just a harmless misunderstanding. "I need the truth," I said, turning to her as soon as the door closed behind us. "Who is he? How long has this been going on?" Her eyes filled with tears, and for the first time, I saw the person behind the mask, the one who had carried secrets, fears, and desires that she hadn't shared with me. She confessed everything in fragments, words tumbling out like a dam breaking. It wasn't just dancing, she admitted. It was a connection she had been nurturing, one she had kept hidden because she didn't want to hurt me. The excitement, the attention, the thrill of being desired, it had made her forget the promises she had made. Each revelation cut me deeper, yet part of me couldn't look away. I needed to know the full extent of the betrayal. By the time she finished, I felt numb. The life we had built together, the years of trust, the future we had imagined, it all felt fragile, as though one wrong move could shatter it completely. I realized that what mattered wasn't just her actions, but the choices we made from this point forward. Could love survive deception? Could trust be rebuilt after it had been broken so publicly? The days that followed were some of the hardest I've ever experienced. I watched her, trying to read her expressions, trying to determine whether the spark she had shared with him was gone or if it still lingered. I felt anger, hurt, and confusion, but also a strange, stubborn desire to understand why she had strayed emotionally, why she had allowed herself to drift away without telling me. We went through long conversations, therapy sessions, and nights filled with silence. Every step was painful, every glance weighted with suspicion, yet slowly the truth began to clear the air. I realized that while her actions had been a betrayal, they had also been a cry for attention, a moment of weakness in the face of something she didn't know how to express. In the end, we didn't have all the answers, and maybe we never would. But we found a way to confront the problem, to talk openly, to rebuild the foundation of trust we had both shaken. The wedding incident became a turning point, not the end, but a wake-up call, a reminder that love alone isn't enough. It's honesty, vulnerability, and the courage to face your mistakes that keep it alive. That night, I realized something crucial. Betrayal is never just about the act itself. It's about the silence that surrounds it. And the only way to heal, the only way to survive, is to break that silence, face the truth, and decide together whether love is stronger than fear, desire, or temptation.